Hello students, this video lecture is on synapses of gravitation. If you like this video lecture, kindly like, share and subscribe the channel. Please share the videos in your WhatsApp group so that let it reach those students who are not getting sufficient support for their entrance exams. Thank you. Kepler's laws. There are three laws. First law says all planets revolve around the sun in elliptical orbit. So, elliptical orbit concept. Second law, if this is the elliptical orbit, then sun is one of its foci. If this is position of sun, planet, in 1 month, if the planet covers some distance, then this is the imaginary line joining sun and the planet. After 1 month, this is the line. So this line sweeps this area, also called aerial velocity. If the planet is closer to sun, in 1 month it will travel some distance such a way that again the area swept by the radius vector is same as this area. This area is A1, this area is A2. So Kepler's second law says imaginary line joining sun and the planet sweep equal areas in equal intervals of time. Means area 1 equal to area 2. Also observe, if the planet is closer to sun, its speed is more. If planet is away from the sun, then speed is less. So you have to observe this first concept. Second concept related to speed. Closer to sun means speed is more, away from the sun speed is less. Third concept, this is because of law of conservation of angular momentum. Law of conservation of angular momentum denoted by L. Third law says square of time period of revolution is proportional to cube of semi-major axis. If this is the elliptical orbit, this is major axis, half of the major axis is semi-major axis denoted by A. So this A is semi-major axis. Sometimes this A is also called mean radius. Mean radius. Since it is ellipse, radius is not constant. That is why mean radius is considered. So square of time period of revolution is proportional to cube of semi-major axis or cube of mean radius of the orbit. Gravitational force. Gravitational force between 2 point masses is m1 m2 by r square. The proportionality constant is g. Then if there is a mass m on the surface of the earth, then according to Newton's second law of motion, F is m into g, mass into acceleration, and that same force is g, mass of the earth, mass of the object by mean radius of the earth square. Understand? If this is the earth, mean radius is r, mass is m, and here is a body of mass m. then distance between these two centers is approximately r. So r square. First mass is m, second mass is small m. So gmm by r square. So acceleration due to gravity is gm by r square, or this g is also force per unit mass. So actually this is more appropriate, force per unit mass, than acceleration due to gravity. They are one and the same. Okay. Variation of acceleration due to gravity with height or altitude. What's the difference between height and altitude means? If heights are measured from sea level, okay, then it is called altitude, sea level. Height means with respect to some reference. If height or altitude is in terms of kilometer, then height is almost equal to altitude. So we can use either height or altitude. Okay. This is center of the earth, O, mean radius of the earth, capital R, mass of the earth, capital M, acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth, small g. At some height, acceleration due to gravity is g dash equal to g into r square by r plus h whole square. If height is small, then acceleration due to gravity is g into 1 minus 2h by r. Now at p, okay, at p, acceleration due to gravity on the surface is gm by r square. Similarly, acceleration due to gravity at this height h is g dash equal to gm by r plus h square, because distance from the center of the earth to point P, r plus h. Divide, get cancels, rearrange, what you get is this. So this equation can be used for any height, okay. But if heights are small compared to radius, then you can go to g dash equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. Here the condition is h should be very much smaller than r. Variation of g with depth. Center of the earth, O, radius of the earth, mean radius, capital R, mass of the earth, capital M, acceleration due to gravity on the surface is g. Acceleration due to gravity at some depth, let this be depth d. So at this point, g dash equal to g into 1 minus d by r. There is no approximation in this equation, therefore this equation can be used for any depth. Okay. Now at the center of the earth, at the center of the earth means if this point P is shifted to center means d is approximately equal to r, or d is equal to r. If d equal to r, then g dash equal to g into 1 minus r by r equal to 0. So at the center, acceleration due to gravity equal to 0. variation of g with latitude. So g dash equal to g minus r omega square cos square theta. Let me explain this equation. If this is the earth, center of the earth, this is the equator, pole, north pole. Angle made by the north pole with respect to equator is 90. Therefore, for the pole, latitude is 90 degree. This angle is 90. If a place is on the equator means that angle becomes 0. So theta is 0 for equator. Substitute 0 in this equation. Cos 0 is 1. Therefore, g dash equal to g minus r omega square. Substitute 90 degree in this. Then g dash equal to g. Cos 90 is 0. This term get cancels. This term becomes 0. Means due to spinning of earth about this axis with angular velocity omega, acceleration due to gravity varies from place to place. It is maximum at the poles. So it is maximum, and minimum along the equator. And omega equal to theta by t. If theta is 1 rotation, 2 pi, then time taken is 24 hours. 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So this is omega for earth. Okay. R is mean radius of the earth. Capital M is mass, which is not required for this equation. Gravitational potential energy. If this is the earth, center of the earth, just like electrostatic potential, gravitational potential energy is also defined. In electrostatics, we define this as work done in bringing unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Similarly, gravitational potential energy at some point is work done in bringing mass from infinity to this point. So potential energy is given by minus g m mass of the earth, m mass of the body which is brought from infinity to this point, by distance from the center to point P. It is r and h. Therefore r plus h minus gmm by r plus h. This negative sign says it is attractive potential because every body is attracted towards the earth. Orbital velocity denoted by V naught. If this is earth, this is position of a satellite, and this is orbit of the satellite. Mean radius of the earth is r, mass of the earth is m, satellite is at a height h above the ground. Then orbital speed or orbital velocity is given by root of gm by r plus h. Observe the equation. Orbital velocity is independent of mass of the satellite, and orbital velocity depends on mass and radius. And with the increase in h, orbital velocity decreases because h is in the denominator. So with the increase in height, orbital speed decreases. So V naught decreases with the increase in h. escape velocity. If this is Earth, center of the Earth, mean radius. If this is position of the satellite or an object, escape velocity of the object from this height is root of 2 gm by r plus h. If the point or the object is from the surface of the Earth, then h is 0, isn't it? So this height is h. If the mass is shifted to the surface of the Earth, then h is 0. Then escape velocity equal to root of, substitute h 0 here, it is 2 gm by r. We also know that small g is gm by r square, or gm equal to g r square, implies substitute gr square in this equation. What we get is 2 gr square by r equal to root of 2gr. This is also expression for escape velocity. This is escape velocity in terms of capital G. This is escape velocity in terms of small g. Potential energy, kinetic energy, and total energy of a satellite. Orbital velocity is given by root of gm by r plus h, implies kinetic energy equal to half m v square. This v square is orbital velocity because satellite will be revolving, equal to half m v naught square is gm by r plus h. Potential energy is minus gmm by r plus h, and total energy is sum of these two. Observe, gmm by r plus h is common factor. So gmm by r plus h into half minus 1 equal to minus half gmm by r plus h. So this is the expression for total energy. Still, total energy is with negative sign, means the satellite is bound to Earth's gravity. Students, please practice these equations. Go through all the concepts, these equations. Based on these equations, you will get next video. Dimensions of GR. This is a method. Whenever you want to find dimensional formula for any physical quantity or constants, please consider equations involving that quantity. Simplest equation is force equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Isolate the term. G is F r square by m1 m2. Now this F is ml t minus 2. R2 is distance square L2 by m1 m2 m mass square equal to, simplify, m minus 1. Observe, there is m minus 1 in all the terms. L3 t minus 2. Observe, there is m minus 1, L3 and t minus 2. Third option. The distance between two masses is doubled. The force between them. Force equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Here distance is varied, means F is inversely proportional to r square. Distance is doubled, means new force is proportional to 1 by 2r whole square. So we get the factor 1 by 4. You don't have to write each and every step because that kills time. So you can see that this factor, additional factor 1 by 4 becomes 1/4. So new force is going to be F by 4. This is the meaning of becomes 1/4. Acceleration due to gravity increases with altitude. So they are comparing with respect to altitude. Variation of g with altitude. So this is Earth. On the surface of the Earth, acceleration due to gravity is g. At this height, g dash equal to g into r square by r plus h whole square. But if height is very small, then acceleration due to gravity equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. Students, recall, to use this equation, h should be very much smaller than r. You can use this equation for any height. In either ways, with the increase in h, acceleration due to gravity decreases. So with the increase in altitude or height, acceleration due to gravity increases with altitude, decreases with altitude, independent of altitude. First decreases and then increases. So this is the answer. Use this equation. If h increases, then this 2h by r increases, 1 minus 2h by r decreases, which decreases g dash. Therefore 2. Fourth, the force per unit mass, nothing but acceleration due to gravity. In few questions, you can find force per unit mass instead of acceleration due to gravity. Still it is one and the same. So acceleration due to gravity increases with depth. Increases first as depth increases and then decreases. Decreases with depth. Is independent of depth. In all the 4 options, depth is mentioned. This is the Earth, center of the Earth. On the surface, acceleration due to gravity is g. At this depth d, acceleration due to gravity is g into 1 minus d by r. So with the increase in depth, this quantity increases. This 1 minus d by r decreases. Therefore g dash decreases. Observe, as the depth decreases, as the depth increases, acceleration due to gravity decreases. At the center, it is 0. And with the further increase in depth, nothing but on the other side, there is decrease in depth. So acceleration due to gravity increases. So first decreases 0 and then increases. So this is more appropriate, because here increases first as depth increases, decreases with depth. If you observe these 4 options, increases with depth, no. Increases first, no. So this is wrong option. Decreases with depth, yes. Independent of depth, no. So in this case, this is more appropriate option. G is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the Earth. G dash, that at a distance h from the center and inside the Earth. Please understand, from the center inside the Earth. And if r is the radius of the Earth, then expression for g dash. Earth, on the surface it is g, center of the Earth. It is mentioned distance h from the center. Distance h from the center. So if this is h, then the remaining depth is r minus h. Am I right? If this distance is h mentioned, total is radius, so remaining is r minus h. So g dash equal to g into 1 minus d by r. In place of depth, r minus h. G 1 minus r minus h by r. G 1 r is LCM, so r minus r plus h by r. Please simplify. So what we get is h by r. So g dash equal to g into h by r. G into h by r. Sixth, g is acceleration due to gravity at the earth's surface. G dash the value at a height h above the surface of the earth. If r is radius, then this equation is not correct because there should be negative sign here. This equation is not correct because 2 is missing. This equation is not correct because denominator it should be r plus h whole square, because g dash is equal to g m by r plus h whole square and g equal to gm by r square, isn't it? So at some height and on the surface. Therefore when we find g by g, g dash by g, this by this, what we get is r square by r plus h whole square. The weights of an object measured inside a coal mine at sea level on the top of a mountain are respectively W1, W2 and W3. Then assume height equal to depth. Earth, sea level on the surface, W2, W2, W1 is inside coal mine, W1, outside W3. We know acceleration due to gravity is maximum on the surface, it is g. So W2 should be greater. It is also mentioned height equal to depth. Height equal to depth. This distance equal to this distance. But with respect to height, g dash equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. Whereas with respect to depth, g dash equal to g into 1 minus d by r. Observe, there is a term, additional term 2, which decreases faster. So this W3 will be much lesser than W2. Okay. So this W3 is much lesser than W2. Highest is W2. Sorry, W1. So inside the earth it is W1. So W2 is maximum. Next is W1. Next is W3. So W2 greater than W1, less than W2. W2 is greater than W1, greater than W3. Wait. G is the acceleration due to gravity on the earth's surface, and g dash that at a height of 32,000 meter, means this is 32 kilometer, okay, above the earth's surface. If radius of the earth is this, then g dash equal to g into r square by r plus h whole square. This equation is true for all heights, but in this case 32 kilometer is very small compared to 6,400 kilometer. So we can use this approximated equation, 1 minus 2h by r. This is true only when h is very much smaller than r, equal to g 1 minus 2 times 32 kilometer by 6400 kilometer. This is 64. 64 1 64 100. 1 minus 1 by 100. G into 1 minus 1 by 100 is 0.01. So it is 0.99 times G. So this is the option. Mass of man is 80 kg on the surface of the earth. At what height above the earth's surface is his mass reduced to 20 kg? Since it is mass doesn't vary with respect to place, so it remains constant. If it is weight, then weight depends on acceleration due to gravity, and acceleration due to gravity changes from planet to planet, isn't it? From place to place. In this case, mass therefore remains constant. If Earth spins faster, acceleration due to gravity at the poles. This is Earth, equator. For equator, theta is 0 degree. For poles, theta is 90. For North Pole or South Pole, theta is 90. G dash equal to G minus R omega square cos square theta is the expression, where omega is angular speed. This is axis, this rotation is omega. Angular speed is omega. At the pole, theta is 90, cos 90 is 0. Therefore, G dash equal to G. So this G dash equal to G is independent of omega, isn't it? Therefore, if it spins faster or slower, the acceleration due to gravity remains same. It remains same. Consider the equator, a place on the equator. If it spins faster means G dash equal to G minus, along the equator theta is 0. Substitute 0, cos 0 is 1. So G minus R omega square. R omega square. So in this case, G dash is affected by angular speed. If this angular speed increases means G dash decreases. Since it is at poles, it remains constant. Acceleration due to gravity at the poles is maximum. Maximum. Again, Earth, equator, G dash equal to G minus R omega square cos square theta. Along the equator, theta is 0, implies G dash equal to G minus R omega square. Observe, substitute 0 here, cos 0 is 1. Therefore, G minus R omega square. And at the poles, theta is 90, implies G dash equal to G. So compared to these two, this is maximum because along with G there is minus R omega square. Therefore, it is maximum at the poles and minimum along the equator. Acceleration due to gravity dash as we move from equator to poles. Again, observe, equator minimum, poles maximum. Therefore, from equator to pole, acceleration due to gravity increases. The period of oscillation of a simple pendulum at the center of the earth is Earth. At the center of the earth, acceleration due to gravity is 0 and time period is given by 2 pi root L by G. If this acceleration is 0, some number by 0 is not defined, so T is not defined. There is no restoring force, that is the meaning G dash equal to 0. Minimum but not 0. It does not oscillate. Maximum, same as that on the surface of the earth. T not defined or T is infinity. Infinity means it is not oscillating. So it does not oscillate. Not defined means very high value for T. Very high value means it is equivalent to saying that this pendulum is not oscillating. The acceleration due to gravity becomes g by 2, where g is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. The height is about. G by 2 means half, 50% of the value. This is very large variation. That is why don't consider g dash equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r, because this is true only when h is very much smaller than r. Please do consider g dash equal to g into r square by r plus h whole square. G dash is g by 2. So g by 2 equal to g r square by r plus h whole square. G get cancels, this to this side. R plus h whole square equal to r square into 2. 2 r square. Square both sides. R plus h equal to root 2 is 1.41 times r. Root of r square is r. I am taking square root here. So these two gives 0.41 times r. 0.41 times r. Observe all these values. This is very close to half of r. Therefore it is r by 2. Observe very distinct values, distinct options, r by 2, r, 4r and r by 4. The acceleration due to gravity becomes 4 by 9 times g, where g is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth at a height about. So we have to find height where acceleration due to gravity is this. So as usual, g dash equal to g into r by r square by r plus h whole square. Why means this variation is also large compared to, this variation is comparable to g. So this is 4g by r, g by 9 equal to g r square by r plus h whole square. Now observe, g get cancels, take square root, this becomes 2 by 3 r by r plus h, implies 3r equal to 2r plus 2h, 2r plus 2h. This gives r, 2h equal to r or h equal to r by 2. Acceleration due to gravity becomes 99% of g. Find height. 99% of g means 1% decrease, isn't it? 1% decrease. This is small variation, therefore h should be very small. Means h should be very small compared to r. So comfortably we can use g dash equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. G dash is 0.99 times g, 1 minus 2h by r. G get cancels. 1 minus 0.9 is 0.01, which is 2h by r. Therefore h equal to half of this, 0.005 r. A simple pendulum is taken from equator to poles. Its period. Equator to poles. Earth, along the equator, g is minimum. At poles, g is maximum. So equator to poles means g value increases. Time period is 2 pi root L by G. G increases, time period decreases. If G is acceleration due to gravity on a planet of mass m and radius r, they are related by the equation. So acceleration due to gravity is given by gm by r square, isn't it? So it is gm by r square. These two cannot be options because dimensionally these two are wrong. So we have to decide between these two. To decide between these two, carefully observe whether it is just m and just r. If they have played with m and r, then we have to check between these two. So it is gm by r square. Escape velocity of a body from Earth is, standard question. Escape velocity is about 11.2 km per second. This is 1.1. 112 kilometer. This is just meter per second. The period of geostationary satellite is, geostationary means it should appear to be stationary with respect to a place. If this is the Earth, this is position of the satellite. If time period of revolution of Earth is t, then time period of the satellite should be t. Then every time this satellite appears to be fixed above this place. 24 hours, 365.25 days, 1 day, 1 hour. Time taken to complete one rotation. Time taken to complete one revolution is, time taken to complete one rotation is 1 day, 24 hours. So this cannot be the option. Am I right? If t is the period of revolution of a planet and a the cube of semi-major axis of the elliptical orbit. If t is period of revolution of a planet and a is cube of semi-major axis of the elliptical orbit, then so square of time period is proportional to cube of semi-major axis. But a itself is cube of semi-major axis. So this is actually a. Therefore t square is proportional to a is the answer. First option. If the distance between the Earth and the Sun were reduced to 1/4 of the present distance and duration of the year would be, so we can use t square proportional to a cube. If distance is r, actual distance, time period is 1 year. Therefore 1 year cube is proportional to r cube, where r is radius, distance between Sun and the Earth. Okay. If the distance is reduced to 1/4, so r by 4 cube, then new time period is t square. So divide one by the other, r cube, t square. So t square is equal to 1 by 4 cube, 1 by 64, or it should be time period. The duration of year would be, means t equal to root 1 by 8. So common mistake here is students will stop at this point 1 by 64 because 1 by 64 is also present. So actual answer is 1 by 8. The period of an artificial satellite orbiting close to the Earth's surface is, period of an artificial satellite orbiting close to the Earth's surface is, observe these 4 options. None of the above, 500, 5000, 50,000. So approximate value is enough. Expression for time period of revolution of a satellite is 2 pi r plus h whole to the power of 3 by 2 by square root of gm. Close to the surface of the Earth means h is 0 or r plus h is approximately r, and this is about 1 hour 20 minutes. It is about 1 hour 20 minutes because all are constants. Just calculate this, and that value is important. So 1 hour 20 minute is 3600 plus few minutes. 3600 seconds plus few seconds means it is around 5000 seconds. The orbiting velocity of a satellite close to the earth, again close to the earth means you can neglect h, is given by orbital velocity is root of gm by r plus h. Close to the earth means h equal to 0. So it is gm by r. Orbital velocity of a body is dependent on mass, dependent only on, take care of this, only on the mass of the planet around which it revolves. Depend only on the radius, only dependent on mass and radius. So orbital velocity is root of gm by r plus h. So orbital velocity depends on mass, radius and also h. So here it is mentioned mass and radius of the planet. Yes, this is more appropriate. If v is escape velocity and g is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth and r is radius of the earth. So escape velocity is given by root of 2 gm by r plus h. Earth, satellite is revolving at this height h. So escape velocity from this height is given by 2 gm by r plus h. The escape velocity is, if there is no h term, then they have considered escape velocity from the surface. From the surface means substitute h equal to 0. If h is 0, then it should be 2 gm by r. 2 gm by r. Observe this option. Small g is also equal to gm by r square. So substitute this in this equation. In place of gm, escape velocity equal to root of 2 gm is gr square. G r square by r, because h is 0. So this turns out to be root of 2 g r. Escape velocity in terms of small g, escape velocity in terms of capital G. So 2 is absent here, therefore this cannot be the option. If earth spins faster, acceleration due to gravity along the equator. Earth, axis, equator. If there is a body on the equator, then acceleration due to gravity is g minus r omega square cos square theta, and theta equal to 0 along the equator. So if cos 0 is substituted, cos 0 is 1, therefore this is 1 g minus r omega square. If earth spins faster means if angular velocity of earth increases. If omega increases means this g dash decreases. You should not get confused that g dash is proportional to r square. It is g minus r omega square. Therefore g dash decreases. And what is the reason for decrease in g dash means it is centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. Acceleration due to gravity at the equator is minimum but not 0. 0, no. Minimum but not 0. Yes, it could be the answer. Maximum, no. Same as that at the pole, no. Therefore 2. 29th. A satellite in a circular orbit of radius r has a period of 4 hours. Another satellite with orbital radius Orbital radius time period means r t square is proportional to r cube. Okay. For radius r, time period is 4. So 4 square is proportional to r cube. Another satellite with orbital radius 3r. So new time period proportional to 3r whole cube. Divide one by the other. R cube get cancels. T square is equal to 4 square to that side. 16 or 4 square 3 cube. 3 cube is 27. So T equal to square root, take square root 4 root 27. 4 root 27. Question number 30. If radius of Earth shrinks by 2%, mass shrinks by 2%, acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the Earth would small g equal to gm by r square. Radius of the Earth shrinks by 2%. Radius shrinks by 2% means 0.98, because 2% decrease is 0.98. It's square. Numerator, mass shrinks by 2%. So mass decreases by 2% means 0.98. So this one, this 0.98, 1 by 98 by 100 equal to 100 by 98. This is about 1.02. So there is 2% increase. So increases by 2%. So instead of solving also, you can get the answer. See, this is 0.98. This is 0.98 square. So the denominator is less means the ratio should be more. So increases by 2%. A simple pendulum is suspended from the ceiling of a lift elevator. When the lift is at rest, its time period is t. Means when the elevator is at rest, this is the pendulum. Time period is given by 2 pi root L by g. Acceleration due to gravity. With what acceleration should the lift be accelerated upwards in order to reduce its period to t by 2? So this should become t by 2. Elevator, this is the pendulum. What should be the upward acceleration? Okay, to become t by 2, let me rewrite. To become t by 2, let me write by 2 here. Let me send this by 2 inside. It becomes 4. So effective acceleration should be 4g. There is already g. Therefore additional of 3g is required. So this is acceleration of the elevator, and this is acceleration due to gravity. They are asking acceleration of the lift. Therefore it is 3g. 3g. If radius of Earth shrinks by 1%, when mass remains same, the acceleration due to gravity on the surface would shrinks by 1%. Acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is gm by r square. Recall errors. If radius shrinks by 1%, then g decreases by 2%, because fractional change in g is equal to, observe, square 2 times fractional change in r. Error analysis. If this change is 1%, this change is 1%, then 1% into 2 is 2%. So change in acceleration due to gravity is by 2%. Now come to the equation. If r decreases, then g should increase. So increases by 2%. So using this you can decide 2%. Increases or decreases is decided by this equation. Velocity of Earth due to rotation about its axis such that weight of a person becomes 3/5 of the present weight at equator is about. Weight becomes 3/5 means of weight means g dash is 3/5 of g. So we have to find velocity. It is not just velocity. Observe the units. It is angular velocity. G dash equal to g minus r omega square cos square theta. If nothing is mentioned, then you have to search for poles and equator. So here it is mentioned equator. For equator, theta is 0. Cos 0 is 1. Therefore, g dash is 3/5 of g r omega square. So r omega square equal to r omega square, it is g minus 3/5 times g, 2/5 g r omega square. So omega square is 2/5, g is approximately 10 by r, r is 6400, 6.4, 10 power 6 meter. Then omega equal to, simplify this, what you get is about 7.8 10 power minus 4 radian per second. You have to take square root of this. Two planets are at distances r1 and r2 from the sun. Their periods are t1 and t2. Then t1 square by t2 square is equal to, t square is proportional to r cube. Therefore t1 square by t2 square is equal to r1 cube by r2 cube. r1 cube by r2 cube. A hole is drilled along the Earth's diameter and a stone is dropped into it. When the stone is at the center of the Earth, it has mass, weight, acceleration, potential energy. At the center of the Earth, acceleration due to gravity is 0. If weight is acceleration due to gravity is 0, then weight is also 0. And mass doesn't depend on place. Therefore, it has mass. This is the tunnel. If stone is dropped, by the time the stone reaches center of the Earth, the entire potential energy is converted into kinetic. Therefore, kinetic energy, it is not potential energy. A planet has mass equal to, diameter of the planet is half acceleration of the falling body. So let us use g dash equal to g dash or g equal to gm by r square, or g is proportional to m by r square. Radius square is proportional to diameter square because radius is proportional to diameter. Therefore, new acceleration by earlier acceleration equal to m. m is 1/10, 1 by 10 by diameter is half, 1 by 2 square. So this 4 goes to numerator by 10 implies g dash equal to 0.4 times g. g is approximately 10. Therefore, 4. They have taken 9.8. Therefore, they got 3.92. 4 close to 3.92. Weight of a body of mass m decreases by 1% when it is raised to a height h above the Earth's surface. If the body is taken to a depth in a mine, change in its weight is, so half of this, half of this is 0.5, decreases. Because if this is the earth, with respect to height, g dash equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. With respect to same depth, g dash equal to g into 1 minus d by r. There is this additional term 2. Therefore, half of this 0.5% decrease. 38. A planet of 38. A planet has mass equal to 1/10 of that of Earth and radius 1/3 of the Earth. Acceleration of the falling body. So acceleration equal to gm by r square. Mass is 1/10. Radius is 1/3. Times g equal to new acceleration due to gravity. 3 square is 9. 9 should go to numerator. 9 by 10 into g is 10 approximately. Therefore, it is 9. 9 means a simple pendulum is suspended from the ceiling of a lift. When the lift is at rest, its time period is t. With what acceleration should the lift be accelerated upward in order to reduce its period to t by 3? To 3 by 3. So time period is 2 pi root of L by g. If it is by 3, this should be by 3, isn't it? If it is by 3, send this inside. So if 3 is inside, it becomes 9 times. So it is 2 pi root L by 9g. Therefore, acceleration should be 8g. There is already acceleration due to gravity. This is acceleration of the elevator. So total is 9g. Therefore 8g. Common mistake. Students will choose 9g. Okay. Actually, after getting 9g, you should choose 8g. A satellite in a circular orbit of radius r has a period of 10 hours. Another satellite with orbital radius 2r around the same planet will have time period. Again, t square proportional to r cube. 10r r. 10 square proportional to r cube. 2r. 2r cube. This is t square. Divide one by the other. R cube get cancels. So t square is equal to 2 cube. 10 square. 10 square goes to that side. 10 square. Take square root. Time period equal to, this is 10. This is 2 root 2. 20 root